Hi guys, welcome back to the channel.
Episode 3 of our podcast is live now, and we're going to play you a sample of it here in this video.
All the links for where you can listen to and download our podcast are in the description box below this video.
If you enjoy these free podcasts, we'd love you to leave us a rating and review in iTunes. That would really help us out.
In today's episode, we have our very first special guest, KIP Andersen. KIP is the co-director and producer of the outstanding documentaries Cowspiracy and What the Health.
We spoke to KIP back in late June, just after the film What the Health was released on Netflix. It was really interesting to learn more about KIP's experience making these films.
And it was very exciting to hear that KIP is working on a few other projects for 2018.
We'd love to hear your thoughts on the full interview. You can leave us a comment under the notes for this podcast on our website. The link is in the description below this video.
Enjoy this clip and we'll see you in the next video.
KIP, Leonardo DiCaprio and Joaquin Phoenix are the executive producers for the Netflix versions of Cowspiracy and What the Health, respectively. What was it like when they showed interest in your films? Surely that's every producer's dream.
It was. I mean, really, Cowspiracy, we, just starting out, no idea of really anything. It's our first film making it, and we thought it was a joke when we got contacted by his right-hand woman. And that was just, you couldn't ask for. It was incredible. Still just so thankful. And so that was just an amazing experience. And, to get the word out, it gives it validation a little bit more people who knows him and more to the film. And then Joaquin Phoenix was more than anything. I just really appreciate the work he's done in animal rights and the things, he's the narrator of Earthlings.
Yes.
And so that was the main reason. It was almost to give a shout out to Earthlings as much as to help, validate the film. Because interestingly enough, we didn't know this until after he signed up. He has literally zero social media presence, and he doesn't do any interviews. So it was really just an honorary, just to have, his name attached to it. I'm a fan of him and as an actor and an artist as well. Because I was like most people, I didn't know it was possible to be healthy and be vegan. So I really was that meat-eating omnivore that didn't even think it was possible to be vegan and healthy.
Sure.
So I guess part of your vegan story is coming through in these films then.
Oh, definitely. And I was a hardcore hypochondriac, and my family history, and part of that was why my family history. My dad had a heart attack and 2 essentially heart blocks before he was even 50. So yeah, it's very personal to me for sure.
Yeah.
And KIP, did you go vegan overnight once you learned about the environment and the health, or did you transition over time?
It was all really at once. I mean, one of them was kind of, you could get bubbles. I was vegetarian for actually years before that, so things were bubbling. I watch every now and then. I remember watching A Peaceable Kingdom.
Yes.
And that was one of those that you have to be a little bit patient with people, because I watched that before I was, I believe, even vegetarian. But when I watched that, subliminally, I knew someday I had to be vegan, or at least at that time vegetarian, because I wasn't living it truthfully who I was. When he had, if you ever watched that film with Howard, what's his name, Howard?
Howard Lyman.
Yeah, no, it was actually not Howard, but it was the other guy, the farmer.
Harold Brown?
Yeah, Harold, and Snickers.
Yeah.
I cried at that part, and
Yes.
so that
it's
really
a real
planted,
tearjerker.
Yeah, it really planted a seed. And then what was the final? Just boom, done. I was a hardcore cheeseaholic because I was vegetarian, and I ate cheese literally twice a day, if not 3 times. I mean, I couldn't go one day. I had a couple of vegan friends, and then someone passed me. It was actually my ex at the time. Passed me a video called "Meet Your Meat."
Yeah.
Yes.
And at around that time, I was finding about the environment, and I was, getting close. And then that was just, it was a 12-minute video, essentially Earthling shrunk down to 10 minutes. And I was eating a cheese pizza at the time, and I threw it across the room, and that's when I was just like, I'm done. I get this out of every cell of my body. I want nothing to do with this industry. I wanted to be just completely